Anyway, we are live. Just when you started talking again, I'd already pressed the fucking button. But anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's live Q&A session with me and Mr. Chris Palmer, SEO, sponsored by 38 Digital Market. The link is below if you're interested in digital PR, deliverables for clients, and all of that good stuff. And he does a whole bunch of other stuff. So you can check that out using the link below for 38 Digital Market. We have some early guys in here. Big Kazbula. I love that name. No one knows who this is, but it's not actually Kazbula. Wonderman is here. Nerdy, good to see you. Glenart, morning from LA. I should say good morning to you guys in the West Coast, because that is a considerable effort, Glenart, getting up at that time to listen to us. Because I think you are 8, if I remember correctly. So yeah, must be like 8 a.m. or something. So yeah, good to see you, Glenart. But we are here to answer your questions, guys. So any questions, put them in the chat. We will go through them as fast as we can and try and answer them as best we can, and try and be more specific with your questions. Not like, how can I make some money online?
$1 million. I'm gonna make $20 million.
That could lead to arguments and debate and hours worth of rants and raves. So yeah, we can't do that on this show. But Michael M from Poland, good to see you. Or Michal. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but Michael, Michael, good to see you. But yes, let us know where you're from as well. That is always nice to see who is there. But anyway, while the questions are coming, Chris, what's new with yourself? Anything new in the pipeline or anything new you want to share with the audience?
There's a lot new, you know. Now spam GBP listing takedowns we've been doing. Lots of horror. No, that's it, man. Started doing a live mastermind on YouTube. People seem to really enjoy that, so that's been really cool. I've been just running it on Thursday after the main mastermind, so that's been pretty fun.
Is that free? Is that free, or do you need
no. It's a monthly deal, but at a like a considerably less amount as opposed to, say, the regular mastermind.
Yeah, it's
just cheaper. I look at it as beginner, like more beginner friendly. Yeah, I'm going to add the live stream functionality where we can, like, kind of like this gig where you can just hand out a link and then we can all show up together.
Yeah,
I think that'll be cool, you know, or it depends. It could go either way. I'm going to try it. Yeah, so I look at that as another little team. I have a gentleman that I really, really like and I've worked with in the past, so he manages that for me. His name is Michael. Yeah, we're working on that. Been working on some training, new services, the Haro. The big one new now is doing those spam listing takedowns. That's
so
the newest.
Spam listing takedown. So someone else's account's been taken down and you can revive it, right?
Well, not more notably, let's say that you're, I don't know, a lawyer. And then all of a sudden, an exact match shows up with no reviews, no address, no nothing, and it shows right up in the map pack. And you were knocked out. Now you're number 4. Well, as long as you fit a certain criteria, like it's a spam listing, you know, the ones that don't have sometimes no phone number, no address, no nothing. We can get those right out of there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Enough said. We'll quickly move on. But guys, questions. You're always starting slow, these guys. We need questions. So put them in the chat but it is Michael, like Michael Jackson, from Poland. So good old MJ.
Little MJ, yeah.
Or little MJ.
Don't lie though, man. When you were a kid, you tried doing the lean, right? And you're like, man, how did they lean so far forward? It never dawned on me like, oh, there was probably a contraption involved. I remember quite notably multiple times, like trying to figure out, man, how is he doing that? Trying to moonwalk. The dancing, not so much, but the moonwalk and the lean, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You
had the moves. I don't know what narc SEO means.
Narc SEO, well, that's when you're telling on somebody. Well, we personally don't tell on anybody. We just do what we do. I don't go and tell.
Do you like the moonwalk, Chris?
I do like the moonwalk. I think that's pretty cool. Absolutely.
Anyway, first question in from Wonderman. Give me a tip on how we can make links by exchanging links. I have a seafood website. What kind of press release can I do? So there's a number of questions within that question.
That's right.
But press releases down below, you can see the link. But there's a ton of people that do them. What type of press release do you want? It really determines what you're prepared to pay. The more or the bigger package you pay, the more links you're likely to get, the more exposure you're likely to get with a press release. The press release you can have tailored to suit your website, your business. It can be about seafood. There could be some statistics there, whatever. But Chris, on the guise of links, someone who is asking how to make links by exchanging them, what would your strategy be? If I know you can buy them and you sell them and stuff like that, but exchanging them, is that something you still do or try to do?
Not exchange. I mean, we've started doing outreach, but it's very, very time consuming, right? So I'm sure potentially maybe if you dedicated a lot of time and effort towards it, you'd be able to get maybe 1 or 2, maybe 5 people to do an exchange, depending on the value of your asset, right? But finding those specific people that even know what a backlink is to start with, and then on top of that, understanding the value of an exchange, so that you have a lot working against you. Touching on PR, as far as that is concerned, to me, the PR, some of the most important things are going to be, what is the primary term that's in the title of that PR, right? We like to create an award. What are you, let's just say you're in New York City and you have the best lobster tail, 4-ounce lobster tails, and you've been crowned New York City's best, something along these lines, crowned, awarded 4 years in a row, New York City, something that has the location, your brand name, and a primary term in it is the essential obligation here. Inside that actual release, we're looking to get, 1 to 3 links. I'm sure Randy will take care of you. That's what I would do. I'm sure he probably has his own little twist too. I like to make awards because then we can stack them in the schema. There's some bonuses there. Then when people are looking up a review, because that's usually if you're generally, I work with a lot of service businesses. What other than branded keywords, people are looking up reviews of the business. So I want them to see my stuff.
Yeah.
So we like to help push that for customers.
Why the hell not?
Why not? Hey, Holly. Good to see you.
Holly is here.
Man, she's busy. I saw her yesterday, too. I did a chat with Terry, Clint, and 2 gentlemen I've never spoke to before. One of them seemed to very interest me a lot. Something about a pixel for Facebook and getting customer data. Very interesting stuff. But anyway, I saw, we talked yesterday. It's just
Holly is everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
But the viewer is asking, can you explain what is a doorway page with some kind of example, if you can rhyme one off the top of your head, Chris. Not one of your own, of course, if you've got one, that is. But
well, so let's just say that, you know, those location pages, you can look out in any local service market, and to Google, a lot of times, just those pages that don't add any additional value or relevance and don't help that user, just geo-modified content on a page that really doesn't give any extra additional information or hasn't already been talked about, could be considered a doorway page. So there's countless examples out there. So
yeah, I'm sure any kind of local search term you'll probably find
lots
of them kicking around. But Holly is also saying that she's messaged you on Facebook as well, Chris. Just a prompt, because you might forget.
Oh, yeah, I just saw. I just messaged inside of. Yeah, no problem. I actually emailed. I saw it. I was like, oh, Holly, interesting.
Bradley Hip Hop is saying, I'm seeing some clients doing increasingly well with their blog content put into categories and linked from the top navigation. Also, deep homepage links seem to be working more. Are you guys using that strategy?
I was opening up Facebook. I'm not going to lie. So deep homepage links seem to be working more. Are you guys utilizing that strategy? Deep homepage links. So linking to the homepage from, see, for me and for businesses that I work on, you know, brand is great, but 99.9% of local businesses, their name is what brings most of the traffic, where what we're really trying to bring is high commercial intent keyword traffic. So in my opinion, usually it's not that we're trying to devalue. For lack of better words, I'm looking to devalue the homepage so I could help allocate budget, time, resource, and mental resource towards those high commercial intent internal pages, you know, like primary keyword plus city. You know, so am I going to interlink every single page back to the homepage? I'm going to try not to. You know, I'm looking to build internal link flow to those city plus service pages is what I'm trying to do. You know, but it's kind of tough though, because usually you'll have that image up at the top, you know, and that's linking back. Usually at the bottom, there's one, you know, it's tough. But that's my opinion.
Also, he was saying that he's seen some of his clients putting their blog content into categories and then putting them in the navigation bar as well. Is that something you do?
Blog content in the categories, and then I can't visualize that exact explanation, but generally if we're going to have website.com/primary term, we're going to build supporting content after that. And then if we're talking about, say, carpet cleaning, and I have 7 or usually 6 or 7 articles related to carpet cleaning, that'll go in the sidebar. And then, yes, the supporting content is going to support the main topic. You know, so if it's carpet cleaning, it's going to support it in the structure, and I'm going to internally link generally within the sidebar just because it's easy for management. So that's how we do it.
There you go, Bradley. Holly says she's going full on crazy with video, AI, and KDP. She's always up to something. So, yeah. But Nerdy Romero has a question. How many backups or how long do you keep, or how many of these backups do you keep of websites? Is 10 years overkill? Of course it is. 10 effing years. I mean, how long do you go back, Chris?
A month.
Well,
we're talking about keeping a backup of the website, and like in case we have to rewind.
Yeah,
usually like a month. Once a month, it does an auto backup.
I mean, obviously, most host companies do it for 30 days, and then it just continually overwrites. have kept certain websites. You know, I've taken a physical backup and kept it. But 10 years is a bit ridiculous. You know, even if I thought I could upload a backup from 10 years ago, is it likely to work with the current version of WordPress and so on and so forth? Probably fucking blow up. So I think 10 years would be absolute crazy and way too much nerdy. But if it keeps you sleeping at night and safe in the assumption that your websites are safe, then do what you have to do. But they're 10 years is overkill.
Yeah,
And I suspect you've got a fair few websites, nerdy, just by the way you talk and stuff. I'm going to make the assumption that that's a lot of storage if you're keeping 10 years and you've got a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, fuck that.
Yes.
Holly is asking, Holly says she keeps on getting banned on LinkedIn. Any ideas on their spam filters, Chris?
No, I have not fortunately ran into that issue. No, I just no, I really don't. Honestly, I'm sorry.
I couldn't tell you either, Holly. LinkedIn is probably the platform I use the least. So yeah, I got a DM from someone on Twitter or something today offering I could mass spam people with DMs on LinkedIn, and if I wanted to talk to them about the software, but I certainly don't post several times a day on LinkedIn. Probably several times a week at best. You know, if I'm going on a webinar or whatever, I'll go on LinkedIn and share it. But I'm not doing several times a day. I'm genuinely not using it anywhere near as much as I probably should, if I'm being honest. Because I know a lot of people who regularly post on it and they do quite well from it in terms of lead gen. So daily posts, not DM. But yeah, there's a consistency is the key for all of these platforms. So, but I'm not quite there with LinkedIn. But Glenart got a new consult gig. Company sells supplements for dogs. Lead product is bought by consumers for dog cancer. What is the best way to establish EEAT for a site without trying to say the product cures cancer?
Have I ever been met with this type of situation on a local business or a business website? Can't say that I have. But would establishing EEAT, if that was my objective, would that be any different than any other site? Really, the question is that second part. How can I say this without saying this? How many different places can I get other people to say it? Maybe that's the play.
Yeah.
You know,
that can be done if you've got the
coin. Yeah.
Coin to make that happen. So yeah, I think you need to be careful on what you say on that site. But like Chris says, other people saying it should be relatively straightforward and easy.
Yeah.
And keep everyone trouble free, shall we say?
And then think of what are the objections? Cache all the objections on the site. Answer all the questions.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have our reviewers, or I'm sure you can come up with some very thoughtful content that would help support that concept. For sure. I like that. If you have the scratchola.
Well, anything's possible for a fee. So, Wonderman, I have a main keyword, my website, jumping on daily basis, day and night, sometimes 70, sometimes 20, sometimes 50. It's not staying anywhere for a month. Can I use some PBN links? So I'm not entirely sure. Can you grasp what's
this is, see, I run into this a lot with, business owners before they get to me, and even people just starting out. It sounds to me like you're seeking a result. So you're deploying and changing, optimizing, rechanging, changing pages, adding photos, adding links. You're introducing factors continuously. So you're not keeping level and steady because what you're doing on the site isn't level and steady. So I think once you stabilize and have some patience, I think you'll start seeing the success that you're looking for. That's what I take from that. It sounds like he's making changes, adding links, like, hey, should I do this? And, business owners get finicky,
Oh, yeah. Now, patience. And Holly will crack it. Just wanted the shortcuts.
I know
the famous old shortcut is always wanted. Thank you. Bradley Hip Hop. Are you guys seeing a lot of pushback on pages or websites that you're using 301 redirects on? So obviously we've spoken about this a few times in the past few weeks, Chris, but obviously Google at the start of March said something along the lines of, 301s may no longer be treated the same way or whatever, which we both said that's not new.
Right.
Have you seen any kind of slips with websites that you did have 301 redirects on?
If there was, it was probably nothing that jumps off the top of my head. Because for a while there on a few of our properties, we were utilizing, like, hey, why build it out? Let's just 301. Like in order to catch up on referring domains. But no, I haven't noticed nothing where I could say, hey, yeah, like steer clear. But I definitely have noticed the devaluing. There's no question. And it takes a lot longer to get credit, it feels like. But I can't point to anything, no.
Fair enough. But I think what we have said, Bradley, in the past is, I think me and Chris both agree on this. 301s are not as effective as they maybe once used to be. But also what I see a lot of is people not doing the process properly as well. Some people grab it and just do a full 301 redirect rather than building the website out and doing a page by page redirect and stuff like that. But obviously Google have released that statement or paragraph or whatever it was I read saying that they may no longer be passing the same value to people who use redirects to game the system, so to speak. But I definitely, like I said, I don't think that's new. I think that's been around for a while. I don't think they get the same value. So I haven't ever really kind of focused on that. I would normally build out a PBN if I was using an old domain on it anyway, rather than doing a 301 redirect, to be honest. That's just my preferred choice and kind of always has been. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens over a period of time. But yeah, it's never been my go-to strategy, if I'm being 100% honest. But time for more questions, guys. Smash them in. We still have over half an hour to go. So keep the questions coming thick and fast. No such thing as a stupid question. Tommy Finnan is here. Where have you been hiding, Tommy? Not seen you in ages. So let us know how you're doing. And if you've got any questions, by the way, Tommy, we are desperate for questions.
Tommy, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've not seen him for God knows how long. Probably not even this turn of the year.
I feel like 2 years ago, he was like one of the first ones to be like super hot on GoHighLevel. It was like, oh man, I love it. And then 2 years passed, and like man, you would be amazed to see how many people I talk to that, like, man, I don't know how they sell that thing, but man, like they feel like it'll do like all these things. And man, when I used it, I was just daunting. I was like, oh man, I'm good, dude. That's me though. But I remember telling me.
Do you use GoHighLevel yourself?
No.
Do
you?
Nah, I tried it out a few years back. People were banging on about it that I knew, and I gave it a try. I felt it was a bit clunky. It just didn't really fit in with what I was doing. I think it would be great for certain businesses, the text message marketing and the all-in-one solution, but it was also a bit clunky. It was a bit of a learning curve, which I'm never too keen on.
It was a lot.
But I'm sure it's changed a lot since, and they're still here. I've never heard anyone say anything too bad about it, but for me, it's probably way over and above what I'm ever going to use in terms of automation. So it wasn't suitable for me personally. But if you were a local service business and maybe a mechanic, you maybe wanted to do a lot of text message marketing and various other bits and bobs, I can see why that may work if you want people to come back in and get their service year on year and all that. So I think there's a lot of cool things that you could do with it for certain types of businesses. So I may revisit it one day.
See, with say GoHighLevel, right? See, I always did things backwards. Like you'll start doing stuff, you'll get traffic. Okay, you're running ads, you're maybe sending out texts, you're doing the emails. Okay, courses. Hey, I'm going to put stuff up over here. Hey, I'm going to buy some signatures on Blackout World. I'm going to run some Facebook, and you start getting traffic. And then I'm like, and then I started looking for solutions on, okay, how do I manage this? How do I follow up with these people? And a lot of times I'll talk to business, like new guys coming in, and it'll be all set up. Like they spent months on this thing, setting up these automations and the pages and the texting, and hey, it does this and does this and does this. And I'm like, man, that's sweet, bro. But it's like, man, if anybody sees this, I would not Tommy, of course. I know he's getting to it, but it's like, dang, if you invested that time and that money and that effort into the acquisition of clients, like go get the client first. Worry about the follow-up later.
Yeah.
But hey, I've run into lots. I've banged my head against the wall so many times. Maybe I should have been pre-set up, but I was always worried about like, damn, look, school tuition's $5,700. Like, geez, bro, like, I was trying to catch a check before I was setting up automations. That's for sure. That's me though. I'm just one guy.
Tommy loves it for the resale piece, which is smart. But he's also busy on a Wednesday, so that's why he hasn't been here. But this time might actually work better, and I'm not sure. I feel like we're getting some others back. When we normally do this show, Chris, it's 5 p.m. UK time when people have left the office who are driving home, and I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Much better timing. Obviously, we've changed it to this time because our clocks have not yet changed till the 31st of March, but we may play with the timing if it works out better for everyone. If Chris is okay with that, so that people can get on, because
wherever the people are, however we can help. Wednesdays, if we have to mess with the time, it's okay. Wednesday's Craig Day. It's on the list. Like, hey, I got Craig today. Like, we're doing it.
But Glenart has a follow-up on his dog supplement question. The Co sells its dog supplement on Amazon, where it has 651 reviews. Is there a way to put in an iframe or API so that the Amazon reviews can show up on the company's website?
I know there is a way. I don't know what the rules are, though. But I have seen websites that showcase, I don't know if it's in bed or they're taking picture. I'm not 100%, but I've seen this before. Craig would be the guy for that. What is that? Are you allowed to do that? I don't know how that works. That's not something.
I'm not sure of the legalities of it. Amazon are very funny with what you show and what you don't show from their website. So I've not really worked with Amazon for 4 years, so I am way out of touch in terms of what you can and can't do. But I'm pretty sure by hook or by crook, it's physically possible to do it. But whether you would have some form of legal recourse or not, I'm not so sure. Because I do know, like, as if an affiliate, we used to have to use the AAWP plugin and show what Amazon allowed us to show, but there were certain things that you couldn't show and all this crap. So, yeah, it's. I don't know why there would be a big problem with it though, but because essentially it's your client's reviews, but
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, picture of it. You could try it and then act dumb if you get caught. But yeah, I don't want to say too much more, Glenart. I don't know the exact answer to it. But if anyone in the chat, in the audience does, please do let Glenart know if you can do that and you are allowed to do it more than anything. But Tommy has a question. What are you using for CTR manipulation right now? He needs a new method. So what are you doing at the moment, Chris, for any kind of CTR stuff, if at all?
I mean, for maps, I work closely with Ian. There's no, like, I'm not hiding anything. We do double seats with Ian and run impressions. So he doesn't handle that. So we take care of impressions, and we generally will run double seat for map. And then as far as website tools, my partner and I, not me, but my partner and his developer created a website tool to run traffic. And then we have a proxy service, so we rotate our proxies, and we have a tool. That's pretty much about it. So websites, we have a tool, and we're utilizing mobile proxy. As far as maps is concerned, I work with Ian, and then we run impressions with the same tool.
Agency assassin.
The key though is it's double up and run impressions too. We see, and then if you can get the optimization and the reviews running, you can usually get a push, like a pretty good push, but they have to be in the top 20.
And I'm just going to ask for Tommy. Is there a way of getting hands on your tool?
We don't sell the tool, but we offer it as a service. Yep. Right from chrispalmer.org. We offer website traffic.
There you go, Tommy. You've still got the likes of CTR Booster with mobile proxies. And that's it. Micro workers or run real traffic to your website. Paid ads, core ads, whatever ads. YouTube ads work really well right now. So I'm seeing a lot of stuff there, but I'm not going to repeat that. I want to get ahead before other people start pissing in that pool. But yeah, hopefully some of that helps you, Tommy. But Chris is obviously doing it as a service, which you may decide is ultimately just easier to do. Just say, there you go, Palmer, fuck off and do it for me. Which is a good thing.
That's what I noticed with a lot of, even when we were teaching stuff, like a vast majority is just like, do I have to go through this or can you just do it? So I was like, I'll show you and we can do it. which way do you want to go? I'll show you exactly what I'm doing, or I can just do it for you.
I mean, I think it's good as an SEO to understand what some motherfucker's doing, but whether you have the time or the desire to sit there and do it, if you're paying, a VA or whatever to sit and run that shit, then why not just use your guy and pay your little bit on top, rather than trying to develop a tool myself. So Tommy will be in touch, Chris, if that's okay. He's currently using micro workers, so you can't do any worse than micro workers. I don't find that micro workers is that effective for. It's good for YouTube type stuff, but actual click through rate and engagement on websites, I'm not a fan of it.
Do you ever think they, when you watch that traffic too, it's interesting. There's a lot of platforms out there though.
Yeah.
You ever just watch that? I always just wonder to myself, are all those listings like one guy?
You think they could? I don't know. I'm undecided on whether micro workers is actually a fucking scam, if I'm being honest.
Is it people? Like what's, at least for the traffic. I never utilized it for, I don't think I've used it for anything else.
It's,
maybe 2.5 years ago, I used to love it, but it's much easier to just run a tool.
Yeah.
You have the proxies and the time.
Wonderman plus exact match GMB. What would be the chances to rank in the top 10 in 5 or 10 real reviews? So you've got an exact match GMB, and you want to know what your chances would be to rank in the top 10 with 5 or 10 real reviews.
So chances of winning dog grooming in Yankee Doodle, Iowa. 100%. I got you. Now, chances of ranking for car accident lawyer, Los Angeles. Highly unlikely.
There you go. Pretty clean cut answer there. But everything's possible. But
it's possible, but that's the piece that there's the plus there, but you left off the, well, what category that, because the amount of traffic you can always improve, the reviews you can always improve. It's just that number at the end, you put a specific on it, which depending on what you're competing for, you may need more. Your velocity might need to be higher, Tough. Car accident lawyer LA. That's a toughie. Especially maps.
I can't see. I can't see the first part of the question. That's the first message I see.
Yeah, it's like you left that piece off. I don't see it either.
If you've tried to post a link or whatever, it's not going to publish it or whatever. But yeah, if you can put the first question in again, please, or the first part of it, it might make more sense. If you can, please, Wonder Man, and we will try our best to answer that. But guys, keep the questions coming. Also do like and subscribe on the video. Even if you're listening in, give us a little thumbs up just to let us know you are there and all that good stuff. So Wonder Man, this is the first part of it. Chris, you are a GMB expert. For example, I'm a wedding business based in New York, wedding dresses in New York, 100K traffic and 50 difficulty. If I buy wedding dresses New York store, an exact match domain, and then have an exact match GMB, what would be the chances to rank in the top 10 with 5 or 10 reviews? So would your answer
0.
change?
Yeah, I mean, top performers, 1,900, 456, and 565. So this gives us 2 pieces of information. A, they have a boatload of reviews. B, to accumulate those, even if you're doing fake, takes quite a bit of time. So they've been there for a long time and they have a boatload of reviews. So could you achieve that result with an exact match and 5 reviews? If you do, it would be very short-lived.
Hopefully that answers your question, Wonder Man. But yeah, I mean, I've worked in the wedding niche in Glasgow, and it was extremely competitive. God knows what it's going to be like in New York. So, but I'm sure you will get there over time, shall we say. But like Chris says, you need to match what the other guys have got out there as well, and you may be considerably behind. So give your man a shout though if you need help. I'm sure Chris has services that may be able to help you.
If you're dumping 16 reviews a month, 4 reviews a week, that'd be 118 weeks.
Is that all you would recommend, Chris? What if someone says, dude, I've got the money. How far or how hard can you do these reviews? I want more.
If you have 10 or 20 reviews already, you know, you can dump them, but then our success rate would be much lower. You know, right now we're running 100% success rate. So I think 4 a week, I mean, that's pretty good. You know, I think putting 4 reviews per week is probably, that's where I would stand right there. You know, every other day, not a problem. And then as far as traffic and clicks, I can only imagine, especially for that. If you had the doll hairs, I would start as fast as you possibly can. If you're going to go for it, go for it. But it's going to take you time, weeks, months of effort, in my opinion. I'm sure somebody might sell a dream, but I think there's going to be a significant amount of months before you reach the finish line for that particular key phrase. Wedding dresses, New York. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ravi, good to see you, Ravi. No AI articles, no spam links. But when Google's update came, all of the keywords of his website disappeared. Please tell me the solution. Obviously, without seeing it, Ravi, it would be extremely difficult to accurately tell you. But we could hazard a few guesses. Chris, if you got something you would like to throw?
Well, if no AI and no spam links, well, then I'd have to say, is your site about more than one topic? That's the first thing. Like, are you talking about a bunch of different stuff? And did they all disappear, or did certain sets disappear? Also, too, what's your internal linking look like? And then what's up with that on page? Because that seems odd. No AI, no spam links. Okay. 2 big checks. What's the internal linking look like? How many different topics is your website about? What's the on page look like? And did you actually lose everything, or just specific sets or keyword groupings? But without seeing it, I mean, I'm just throwing darts.
Yeah, let us know more. But also, Ravi, because you're saying it's not AI, does that mean it's not AI? You know, I'm not saying that you haven't paid someone who claimed to write that themselves. But you wouldn't be the first guy who thought he had human written content that's been handed a big bunch of AI over. So was that checked? What these are other things that we need to know. It's all good and well saying you haven't done this and that, but when it comes down to it, Google clearly don't like something that you're doing, and you need to try and understand what that is. Obviously, if you're not building any spam links, again, what is spam? My definition of spam and what Chris might call spam may be very different. Just because I've got higher standards, of course. No, I'm only kidding. But yeah, no spam links. You might still be building links, and we would consider them spam or whatever. So we need to try and understand what happened. But also, Ravi, when a lot of people get hit in the update in March, they got a manual action taken against them. Were you given a message in your search console, and what did it say, if so, or was this algorithmic? Because I've not seen too many people with algorithmic penalties from that March update. Most of the people I know that got slammed good and proper, it was manual actions they got. So
for content.
Yeah. And it literally says on the message, yeah, it was quite cheeky, the message. I can't remember the exact words, but it's like, yeah, you've got gibberish AI content or words to that effect. Yeah, they were basically wiped out. So, Ravi, if you can let us know the answer to some of that, we may be able to go further. But our Saul asks, what percentage of the expired domains or auction domains work? Do you use a wayback restorer or rebuild with WordPress? And how aggressive with the anchor text do you go with them? So, Chris, 3 questions within one. But first one, what percentage of expired domains or auction domains work, in your opinion? You have done a lot of this stuff.
All right. So the expireds, I even documented it and tracked it. I showed 100. So out of those 100 of expireds, when we launched them, all unique IPs, all unique WordPress themes. Well, the code was unique, right? It said it was unique. Anyway, it was unique. Unique IP, C blocks. Out of those 100, I believe it was 12 or 16 that just wouldn't go. Okay. Now, also out of that 100, almost all, except for the winners, the keepers that moved on, in the race, lost about 60% of their backlinks as we let them sit. Like they just kept falling and falling and falling. The equity would stay the same. Like if you're looking at a tool, your DRs and your trust flows and all that stuff, that'll sit. You might lose 1 or 2, but the backlinks keep falling off. Now, so out of that 100, you'll probably end up with 20 winners. And we were choosing domains that were old and had at least 500 referring domains. And that stuff is just dumping. But this is expired. Auction, on the other hand, no drop and or parked, but sitting. I just recently started buying large batches of those. But I will say I have not marked and classified the exact numbers because the success rate is so much higher. I will say that.
Narmina, yes, you can put your question in the chat, but he also goes on to ask, do you use a wayback restorer or do you just rebuild it? You mentioned there the templates were all different. I'm assuming you're just building out on WordPress.
A lot of them are 50-50. It could be Bootstrap and HTML, but a lot of them are also WordPress. So with that being said, how are we building them? No, I'm not using a restore. But what we will do is we'll look in, say, SEMrush, and we'll do a bulk analysis in order to figure out, okay, where's the primary referring domains pointing? Homepage and usually 1 or 2 other pages. We'll build those pages out exactly how they were. But when I say exactly how they were, this is the URL structure, title, and H1. Once usually within 45 days, 60 days, we'll say, you generally will see any fall off or all equity that was previously there within time. So does that take care of that? Oh, and then as far as the aggressiveness with anchor text, there's another caveat there. When building these out, we're also, this is what I learned the hard way as well. You'll notice less of a fall off if you run those through an indexer. The links that were previously there, which can get expensive if you're paying a penny or, half of a penny per URL. So you'll download the entire backlink profile, submit to an indexer. You'll have much more that stay. But then you start to realize, well, hey, if it falls and I got to index it, I only want the best of the best, and then we'll move them on. Because really, if you're investing $12 a piece, like, yeah, okay, we lost 500, but we have these solid domains now. Yeah. So as far as the anchor text is concerned, I'm not sure what you mean by this aggressiveness, like external going out or internal going in. I'm not really sure what you mean by that.
Let us know, Ursul. We can answer that for you as well. But we'll move on to the other questions and come back with that, Ursul. So Wonderman says, I have Wedding Dresses website ranking in the top 2 to 4 numbers in the city, but he started adding suits pages last month and he's got no ranking on them now.
Struggling.
After this update, his main keywords are coming down. So
you might not want to hear this, but for like, you were being rewarded for wedding dresses. Like, that could be the best wedding dress it could be, answer all the questions. I'm sure you have multiple SKUs, different types of products, sizes and colors and styles, and a million questions to answer, I'm sure. When we're talking about the men's apparel, I think it'd be a lot better to keep those separate. Like without even reading, as soon as he started reading, I was thinking, oh, he launched the new stuff. It's doing suits. I bet it's struggling. He reads the rest. Boom. Yep. Struggling. And then so much so that it's taking away from this, because now they're not sure. Well, what are you about? Who are you? What are you doing? Right now you're building other anchor text to the page about tuxedos, right? Or suits. Yeah. One concept, one idea, one topic, and you can go as broad as you want about that thing. That's how you build that authority, that trust. That's how you build depth of concept. Depth of concept plus age and referring domains is how we build trust. Like, that's how you become an authority. So if you're going to do the tuxedos and the suits, I would just do that separately. I think you'll find success if you invest that same amount of time and effort in what you did here and do it over here. You'll do a lot better, because I think you're always going to constantly struggle. But yeah, I'm sure you can point out some successes out there. But we're looking for the most optimal path of least resistance. I don't want to struggle and have to to build out an asset. You want to do suits? Great. Go do suits. That'd be my opinion.
Vivek, how to beat Reddit or Quora for even super low competitive keywords. So everyone talks about Reddit, ranks for whatever. Are they beatable, Chris, for low competition keywords?
Everything over time, think about it. Google sites had a run. These are just ones on the top of my head. Google sites had their run. Everywhere they're showing up. I used to have a hosting site. It was a big success for me, but Google sites had a run. The Squarespace sites had a run. The Medium sites had a run. Right now, Reddit's having a run because what? How many months ago? 4 months ago? 5 months ago? Reddit was like a sneeze. So it's a cycle. Is it beatable? Yeah, but we have to wait the cycle out. Right now, Google's rewarding. Remember when Medium was everywhere? It's just a cycle. Like, yeah, they're having their shine right now, right this second. Plus, on top of that, they just did a little deal with Google, remember? So, of course, they're getting some shine. So, it's just a cycle, brother.
Yeah. Lizda, have you ever been doing Optimizely's A/B testing tool on a website? And what is the impact on Google search and traffic in Google Analytics 4? So have you used Optimizely, Chris?
I can't say that I have.
Neither have I, but I'm just going to see what it is. Optimizely.
And yeah, Optimizely, huh? You're gonna make me look. Okay, Optimizely. You know when you got Craig and Chris looking like these guys making noise out there? I've never heard of them. But if it was something rumbling, it's either really good, right? Because usually if it's something really good, people are quiet, or it's brand new or something. You know what I mean?
Pricing.
It could go either way.
It's not overly expensive, but yeah, I haven't used it personally. But what I can say is A/B testing and tweaking things on a website. Of course, have I used CRO people? Do I consider that stuff to be good? Then yes. I think.
What happened to the old days, though? Like, you're going to think about this, though. Money, time learning it, plus setting up tests. So you're going to get lost in weeds, reading tutorials. You're going to waste all this time. What happened in the old days? Set up a page, run traffic. Do you make money from it? No? Okay, we better go optimize it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I would, I'm also in agreement with Chris's camp. I think, running tests for the sheer hell of it to see if you can squeeze a little more out of it is potentially stupid because you could fuck it up. If something's broke, don't fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Sorry. So I think these things have their place, and there's CRO people out there, and adding better call to action and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, it's not something that I would be overly doing on a website that I thought was performing well. But can it impact your Google search and traffic in GE4? Yes, you can see increased traffic, conversions, and everything else by doing these things. But it just depends on the website, really.
The juice worth the squeeze. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be. If that's your dedicated thing and that's your job is to squeeze that last percentage out, then go for it. Let us
know. GBP, can you have two on the same building? The original GMB 2.2 star reviews. Can I put another GMB on top of it for the same category, like a nail salon?
Okay. So can you? Sure. Should you? Not for the same category. No. If you have the same address and you want to use the same address for another idea or a venture or a separate category, not going to be a problem. But if you're creating the same thing at the same place, again, Google's going to make a decision. Usually it's going to still show the one that you don't want, or you'll always be fighting with yourself, or they won't show anything at all. If you have one that has 2-star and it was a flop and you could restart. But that's up to you at the end of the day. But can you do it? Yes, you can. It's just not optimal.
Yes, that's the key word. It's not optimal. But guys, we have about a minute left. Narmina, we never got the question. It says you posted it at 6 minutes past 5 and it's not yet that time. I'm not sure what's going on or if your thing's been delayed, but we have about a minute before we knock off. But yeah, I think Chris as well, obviously the time difference for us in the UK has probably brought us back some old visitors, but maybe thrown off some of the other ones. So Narmina, could you copy and paste it? I've not seen it come through. I've only got that and that. It's longer, but if you can copy and paste it again, we will answer that as the last question, since you asked so nicely.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think this time in the UK works better, Chris. So we might need to go an hour earlier once the clocks change at the end of March.
The clocks change, we'll do 11 Eastern time.
Yeah, I think that might work.
Sounds cool.
Better because we're getting some of the old folks back that haven't been for a while, which, yeah, it might just be a better time.
Hey, I have a question for you. For intaking information through Shopify,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a recommended plugin that maybe would be useful? Like maybe a forms or like what usually?
So no, I don't use Shopify for anything. To be honest, so I'm not sure, but there has to be something. There will be plugins there.
Right.
What they obviously plug into like Active Campaign or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just curious, like for intaking, I mean, there's basic like the email stuff, but I was hoping to get all of it in one shot, like a form. You know, like,
Yeah.
hey, they process the order, they get this.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go look. And I was just curious if you know off the top of your head.
Nah, I've never been a huge Shopify lover, Chris.
That's fair.
But Tommy says this time is perfect. And Narmina, yes, you can DM. And I'm more than happy to answer, but I'm sure Chris will as well if he's got time. But yeah, if you DM me, I can help you as well. So either or is good. But we are out of time, guys. We will be back at this very same time next week because the clocks haven't yet went back, and then we'll look at maybe sticking with that time for the UK people, and hopefully it will flow much better because we're starting an hour earlier here in the UK, which is probably why things are a bit stuttery at the start. But also do check out Mr. chrispalmer.org. Well, just chrispalmer.org. And do check out channel sponsor 38 Digital Market. The link is below if you're interested in press releases. And we will catch you guys at the same time next week, everyone.
See you next week.
Cheers, everyone.